Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjan Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjan Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjan Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Kodanitai Mayapur Sasi Jaya Kodanitai Jaya Mayapur Sasi Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Baladeva Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada ki jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol Hare Krishna. So thanks for joining, and we were discussing Canto 10 chapter 9, and there we discussed about how, let me see on the screen and then we'll go from there. One second. Yeah, so we were discussing about this pastime of Krishna Leela, and especially how the Damodar Leela. And yesterday we discussed till verse 5, and the point where we discussed is once Mother Yashoda saw that all these maid servants were engaged in different services, so she wanted personally to churn the butter for Krishna. And I was thinking, before moving ahead from text 6, let's try to go back to chapter 8 and read some small specific section where we will see how what happened actually before that. So Mother Yashoda thought to churn by her own self, and thinking that looks like the butter and the being churned by the maid servant are not so good, and that's why Krishna goes to steal the butter in different houses, right? So we'll read those beautiful pastimes from chapter 8, and then we'll come back again to here. Okay, so let me share the other screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so we'll read this section. This is Canto 10, chapter 8. I will just do some 4 verses. Okay. Yeah. So we'll see this section, and then we'll move again to Canto 8, chapter 9. Right. Let's chant the prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatide Satarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this section, chapter 8, text 26 to 31, it says about the naughty pranks of Krishna and Balram, the complaints of gopis, right? So I won't be going to all each verses, but we'll read the translation and the explanation given by Acharyas and Prabhupada's, right? So let's see. Can someone want to read this one, this translation, please? Just read the black one, not the red one. Anyone wants to read?
O King Parikshit, within a very short time, both Rama and Krishna began to walk very easily in Goloka on their legs by their own strength without the need to crawl.
So what happened as of now? Krishna and Balram, they have grown up, and they were not crawling anymore. They actually started walking, and without their own. There is no more hands needed for them. They do not need to crawl anymore. Right. So Krishna and Balram actually has grown up now. Right. So without scraping their knees on the ground, Krishna and Balram effortlessly began walking about Gokula. So they are going around the Gokula now. The word Anjasa is sometimes substituted with the word Ojasa, which means boldly. So Krishna and Balram, they started walking boldly. So, in other words, Krishna and Balram stopped crawling and started walking boldly around Gokula. Right. Let's see next ones. Yes, please. Someone please read this one. The black ones you can read with the red one. If
Hare Krishna. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, along with Balaram, began to play with the other children of the cowherd man, thus awakening the transcendental bliss of the cowherd woman.
just 1 second. I think I got a call. Let me uh, quit my WhatsApp on my laptop. Okay. So let's go it again here. So what happened now? Thereafter, Lord Krishna and Balram, along with Balram, they began to play, and with the other children of the cowherd man. So thus, awakening the transcendental bliss of the cowherd woman. So let's see what the bliss they are doing. Just 1 second. Okay. Now what's happening is in the pastime of stealing butter, Krishna was predominant figure, right? So Krishna was actually the planner of everything, right? Therefore, in this verse, Krishna is described as Saharama or along with Balram. So along with Balram, Krishna started playing with all others coward boys. Text 28. Yes, someone please read this one.
Hare Krishna. Observing Vikshya, the very attractive childish restlessness of Krishna, Krishnasya Ruchiram Kaumara Chapalam, all the gopis in the neighborhood, Gopya, to hear about Krishna's activities again and again, um, Shrinvantya Khila, would approach Mother Yashoda, Tan Mathur Samagatha, and speak to her as follows: Iti Hochu.
So what's happening is now is that Krishna's childish pastimes, they were very attractive, and these gopis, they would go to Mother Yashoda and speak about the Krishna's activities again and again, right? And what happens? Let's see. So seeing the naughty pastimes of Krishna and enjoying Rushiram them very much, the gopis in the neighborhood would approach Yashoda and tell her what they saw. So when they would gather in Yashoda's house, Yashoda would stop her many household chores and listen to the activities of her child. On the pretext of reprimanding her from not controlling her restless son, the gopis would give great joy to Mother Yashoda. So every time, whenever Krishna goes to dozen pastimes, so the gopis, they would come and speak to Mother Yashoda. See, your naughty Krishna is doing all these mischievous things. And Mother Yashoda, who was very lovingly, she would hear all the pastimes of what Krishna is doing. Right? Let's see more what those little pastimes are. If you see here the notes, it says, observing Krishna's attractive, restless, childish pastime, with a desire to hear about Krishna Leela, again and again the gopis would approach Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, and speak as follows. Let's see what they are speaking. Right. This is a very interesting pastime going on now. Right. So, yes, someone please. If you want to skip the red ones, that's okay. Just read the black ones. Anyone please?
Oh dear,
Hare
sorry.
Krishna.
Okay, let me call out name then. Yeah, Mangesh Prabhu, please read out.
Hare Krishna. Our dear friend Yashoda, your son sometimes comes to our house before the milking of the cows and releases the calves. And when the master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable curd, butter, and milk, which he then eats and drinks. When the monkeys assemble, he divides it with them. And when the monkeys have their bellies so full that they won't take more, he breaks the pots. Sometimes, if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he will be angry at the householders. And for his revenge, he will agitate the small children by pinching them. Then, when the children being crying, Krishna will go away. Hare Krishna.
So this is what gopis are saying to Mother Yashoda. What they are saying is, oh dear Mother Yashoda, your son sometimes come to our house, and before milking the cows, and what he does is he releases the calf. So generally what happens is, when you milk the cows, you actually tie the calves aside so that the calves don't come and drink the milk from the cows, right? And what Krishna does is Krishna releases the calf. So calves, what happens? They runs back to the cows to drink the milk, right? And then when the master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. So interesting point here is that even the gopis or the gopas, when they become angry, Krishna would just do a nice smile, and just by smiling, their anger is subdued. Right. Just by Krishna's smile, the anger of this gopas or gopis, they are very, very, they forgot everything. Just by the smile of Lord Krishna, everything is finished for them. All relational pastime now. And then what he does next? Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable curd, butter, and milk, which he then eats and drinks. So the gopis, they used to, hide those the curd and butter and milk. However, Krishna makes different plans to steal those. And not only he does steals, what he does is he bring all the monkeys assemble, and then he divides into them. So you eat, that's okay, that's fine, but now he is actually distributing to all the monkeys. And then when the monkeys have their bellies so full they won't take any more, Krishna breaks the pots, right? So he not just eating the yogurt or butter or milk by his own, he's feeding to his friends and to monkeys, and then at the end he's breaking the pots as well. So this is an interesting one. Sometimes if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he will angry at the householder, and for his revenge he will agitate the small children by pinching them. Just by pinching them, they will start crying. The small children, they start crying, and this way Krishna would run away from that. So these are the things. And in many times Krishna would warn that, okay, if I come next time and I don't get the milk, butter, or curd, what I will do is I'll burn your house. Right? So be careful to keep some butter and yogurt for me. Let's read the purport. The gopi said, O Mother Yashoda, just hear about your son's mischievous deeds. Just before dawn, your restless son walks around the neighborhood looking for an opportunity to steal some yogurt. So generally, the milking happens in the dawn, in the evening time, and after milking, the calves they come and drink the milk from the cows. And what happens? Krishna comes, and what he does is before the milking time, he releases the calves, and they proceed to drink all their mother's milk. It's natural. The calves they're waiting because it's evening now. They are waiting when they will get time to drink the milk of their mother. And Krishna, he opens the calves, and there's no more milk. The calves goes and start drinking the milk from their mother. And when everyone runs hither and thither to catch the calves, Krishna stealthily enters their house and steals yogurt and runs away. The point is, as Krishna releases the calf, because someone has to take hold of the calves now, otherwise the calves gonna drink all the milk. So by seeing the opportunity, Krishna enters the houses and he starts his whole pastime, stealing the butter and yogurt and throwing away everywhere, right? And then he runs away. One day, when that yogurt thief came, yogurt thief, right? One day when the yogurt thief, Krishna, even Krishna is a thief, but he's the supreme, right? He's a chora. He is the thief. There's a nice astakam called a Chaura Astakam where Krishna's glorious stealing is been described, right? Braje pratisam, braje pratistam navanita chauram. So he steals. So Krishna is very, is very wonderful. Actually, he steals the envy, the material desires from our heart, right? All these things he steals away from our heart. So, and let's see what happens. One day, when the yogurt thief came, we shouted, "Beat him, tie him up," but he smiled ever so sweetly. So just by the householder, they were thinking, let's bind him, and beat him, because he's the naughtiest, he's a mischievous children in this our Gokul, and let's punish him. But as Krishna smiled so sweetly, they forget everything. So let's see what it says. Smitten by his intoxicating smile, we forgot everything. So they don't remember any more kind of mischief activities of Krishna. They release the pastimes now. So as Krishna smiles, what happens next? Stunned, we just watched him do his dirty work without responding. So what happening now here is, so Krishna has entered to steal the butter, and the householder, they wanted to catch him, beat him, but as Krishna smiled, it's now, we play the game statue, right? So they all become stunned. They are all statue. They are just looking at Krishna, and Krishna doing the pastime. Krishna is picking out the butter, he's breaking the pot, and then he runs away. So they can't do anything more. So sitting calmly, he ate our milk. Just imagine the householder, they're standing before Krishna as a statue, right? And Krishna is eating very calmly the milk and the butter without even running away. And while we stood by totally bewildered. So just as Krishna smiled, just by the smile of Krishna, they were all become statue, and they are all bewildered. They forgot all the mischief of Krishna, and they are just looking at Krishna's wonderful activity. And Krishna, without any hesitation, without any fear, he's nicely sitting down, eating all the milk and butter, and even he's not running away as of now, right? Let's see more. Then Mother Yashoda said, in that case, why didn't you just let him eat till his belly full? Mother Yashoda said, okay, if he's coming out and he's stealing, and even sometimes you can't do anything to him, so let him eat, isn't it? So that's another way. The Gopi says, he is always being fed by you, so he has no hunger. The point is, Mother Yashoda says he might be hungry, so let him eat. But the Gopi is saying the reason is Krishna is not in hunger. He is not hungry of the buttermilk or yogurt. Something else. There is something else, isn't it? So gopis are saying, "Oh Mother Yashoda, you have all these 9 lakhs cows, so many beautiful, cows, and they are giving a nice milk, surabhi milks, and still surabhi cow giving surabhi very very opulent milk, and then from there we are getting butter, and his whole Gokula, the best butter is from you. And then how can Krishna be hungry, right?" So what is saying that it is not a question of hunger. He has a taste of stealing. So the point is, Krishna wants to steal, he loves to steal. And eventually, if you see more, Krishna is actually giving pleasure to all the Brajavasis just by his stealing, isn't it? So he likes to steal milk and yogurt. He does not like it if we give it to him. So if Krishna comes up to our home, okay, we know Krishna is coming. Krishna, take yogurt and milk and you go away. Don't mess up anything. Don't break anything. He won't take it. He won't like it. What he likes is, he likes stealing. You know, if you remember, sometimes if you see, we when we are children back in India, like it's always a fun to steal things, right? Uh, I would remember now we have some the mango gardens of others, and we would go there and steal and then run away from there. That's has a different pastimes, right? That's a different pleasure to steal and eat like that. But Krishna's pastimes are any transcendental. So the gopis are saying that if we give milk and yogurt to Krishna, Krishna won't take it. But the reason is that he likes to steal. And being skillful at releasing the calves and at smiling, Krishna steals in 2 ways: beyond our sight and before our eyes. He is the one who is stealing before our eyes. We are stunned, we are just standing before him, and Krishna comes, eat, breaks everything, and goes away. Sometimes before our eyes, sometimes before our sight. Beyond our sight, sometimes before our eyes. So sometimes what happens is the gopis, they would hang the butter in a dark room, and even sometimes on the ceiling, so that Krishna is shy, he can't approach that. But what Krishna does is, he try to make some wooden mortar and then stand on it and then breaks the pot and start eating it. And even once a gopi said, "Oh Mother Yashoda, you know what, even if you put in the dark room, even there is no light, but Krishna's effulgence is so great that as soon as he enters the room, everything is visible to him, and he takes out the butter and then does his whole thing." So what is saying here, that using his intelligence, he finds different ways to steal. One day, even before eating the yogurt himself, he distributed it to the monkeys. It means what? Krishna is not hungry, isn't it? He is just making a nice pastimes for the pleasure of the Brajavasis, and he's feeding the monkeys. So when all the monkeys had taken their fill and could eat no more, Krishna thought, "Without you, what is the use of my eating? So I will not eat." So Krishna is actually feeding to monkeys now, and he's saying, "If you monkeys don't eat it, then there's no point of eating me, right? So I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry at all. I'm just trying to feed you all. So come and eat as much as you can." Then what happens? In anger, he broke the yogurt pots. So he just break the pots as well. And when he enters the house and does not find any yogurt, he becomes angry at the occupants and says, "Stay here. I'll come tomorrow morning with a flaming torch in my hand, and I'll burn the house. If you don't give me some yogurt, I'll burn down your house along with your relatives and children." So be careful. When I come tomorrow, make sure there are some butter and milk and yogurt for me. Otherwise, I'll come with a flaming torch, and then I'll burn the house. Not the house, I'll burn you and also your relatives and also all your children, right? And this is basically a warning to all the one who don't wanted to let Krishna steal something. So After saying that, Krishna makes the small children cry by scratching them with his nails, right? So like pinching them, and as he pinches, and he runs away from there. Right. So these are the glorious pastimes of Krishna. Let's see a couple of more verses from the chapter. Uh, yes, Jain Mata, you want to read this paragraph now?
When the milk and the curd are kept high on the swing hanging from the ceiling. And
Yes,
Krishna,
the red ones.
sorry, Prabhu, sorry.
Skip the red ones, just go on the black one.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. And Krishna and Balaram cannot reach it by pulling up various planks and turning upside down the mortar for grinding spices. I do not have my glasses, Prabhu. I'm very sorry.
No problem.
Being quite aware of the contents of the pot, they pick holes in it, while the elderly gopis go about their household affairs. Krishna and Balaram sometimes go into a dark room, brightening the place with the valuable jewels and ornaments on their bodies and taking advantage of the light by stealing.
So the
Thank you,
Gopis
Prabhu.
continues. Yeah, the Gopis continues. Another day, he entered a house where the yogurt pot was beyond reach. So he devised a method to get it. What the device? What the plan? Sometimes he piles up chairs, climbs atop a grinder motor, or the shoulders of a friend. So these are different ways how Krishna, take out the pots. And actually, these are the pastime why in India in Janmashtami we call it dahi handi. People they make kind of like what I say the pyramids, and then they climb on top and then break the pots. And who the one who can make the people more kind of height of pyramid, and they win some prizes. So that's why we celebrate this in Janmashtami in India mostly. Right. So sometimes he piles up the chairs, climbs the top, and sometimes the shoulder of a friend. So just by seeing the exterior of a pot hanging from a ceiling on a string, he knows its content. So Krishna he knows very well what is there in which pot. Is this yogurt or a milk or butter? If he cannot load the pot, he makes a hole in it with a pole having a sharp iron point. So basically, you can't use the pot anymore. So he's very learned in all his work, how to put a hole in the pot, how to make the yogurt pot pour out, and how to open the mouths of the boys so they can take their fill. So even sometimes it's too high, he'll make a hole, and from the hole the yogurt or the milk it pour down, and the yogurt boys and the boys they will drink directly from that, right, till they're filled. Even a dark storeroom is no obstacle for Krishna and his friends. The brilliant jewels on their bodies acts as lamp to brighten the room. Right? Even the Brahma Jyot coming out from the Krishna's body, it actually lightens the room. And he knows all the tricks of the trade. So no one can cheat Krishna, right? And Yasoda replies, "Why aren't you more careful?" And the gopi says, "Your son only comes when everyone is busily engaged in the household affairs." So, though Krishna has already stolen our hearts with the bewitching power of his gentle smile, his baby talk, his sweet movements, and his beautiful body, still he likes to steal our yogurt on the sly. So before stealing, Krishna sends some boys as spies to find out who is there in the gopis' home. So spy. So Krishna's friends are the spy of Krishna, right? They will let know where it is. Like the Vrinde Devi, she would plan out the meeting of Radha and Krishna. In the similar way, Krishna would send the boys to check out where it is. So Yeah, this is the last verse. Let me read out. When Krishna is caught in his naughty activities, the master of the house will say to him, "Oh, you are a thief," and artificially expresses anger at Krishna. Krishna will then reply, "I'm not a thief, you are a thief." Sometimes, being angry, Krishna passes urine and stool in the neat and clean places in our house. But now, our dear friend Yashoda, this expert thief, is sitting before you like a very good boy. Sometimes, all the gopis would look at Krishna sitting there, his eyes fearful, so that his mother would not chastise him. And when they saw Krishna's beautiful face, instead of chastising him, they would simply look upon his face and enjoy transcendental bliss. Right? Mother Yashoda would mildly smile at all this fun, and she would not want to chastise her blessed transcendental child. Right? So, anyway, it's amazing. The gopis continue. O Yashoda, O famous one, you appear very blissful on hearing the pastimes of your son. It is not only that he steals, he also passes stools and urine in the room set aside for worship and thus contaminates it. He also pulls the ladies' braids and saris, kicks them, and proposes marriage to them. In the future, this son will bring you lot of wealth. So the gopis, they're saying that they will bring a lot of wealth because he's very good at stealing. So he'll steal money and bring to you when he grows up. So now he's stealing yogurt, but when he grows up, he will steal others' money and wives. So, but now he looks very innocent in front of you. So now the result of the gopis loving criticism is stated. So thinking Yashoda might beat him, Krishna showed fear in his eyes and his beautiful face trembled. The gopis could not help but look at Krishna's charming face. So everything was told to Yashoda, who had become blissful on seeing Krishna's face, which was illuminated with different emotions, and by hearing about his wonderful pranks. Yashoda simply blamed a wide smile, but she harbored no desire to scold her son. Yashoda thought, "Let the gopis drown in the bliss of my son's mischief making, and when such incidents are reported to me, let these stories drown me into bliss too." Right? Though, I mean, that's the end of this section, right? So there's a very beautiful section where we see how Krishna becomes a nice kind of thief stealer in the braja, and then everyone enjoy the pastimes. In one of the pastime I was reading earlier, I think we discussed, like, once what happened. Krishna went to one of the gopis house and he said once, "You know what, there are some sages has came to my house, and we ran out of the butter, and my mother Yashoda has asked you personally to give some butter, and because she said that you are the one who used to make the best butter in the Gokul." And this gopi was very happy. He said, "Wow, today mother Yashoda has asked butter from me, and I am very happy." And she bought some 2 pots and gave to Krishna. And Krishna assured, "Don't worry, my mother will give you back in couple of days." She said, "No, we don't want any more butter back from your mother." And then the gopi went inside. She closed the door. Then what Krishna did is, Krishna sat just in front of the door, and he called his friends, and they started eating the butter in front of the house. And then the monkey came out as well. As the monkeys and the children all there, they started whispering and talking. It became a noise, and the gopis who went inside, she thought, "Is it something, something, someone else come out or what?" And as she opened the door, she saw all mess. The whole 2 pots were lying there, and Krishna and his friends are eating. The gopi says, "Oh Krishna, you said Mother Yashoda is asking because you got some sages at your home." And then the Krishna says, "Don't you see the sages here around me? These all are the sages from whom I was asking the butter." And then as she scolds Krishna, threw away the pot, broke it, and then started running away from there. So this is all pastime Krishna was doing, and that's how Mother Yashoda, back in next chapter, in chapter 9, thought, "Let me churn butter for my son today," and that the pastime happens. So we'll continue from chapter 9 again tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Wednesday. We'll continue on Thursday again. Anyone have any quick question or want to share something, their realizations, please feel.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I must apologise for being late, and also these pastimes are so heartfelt. You can imagine your own wee child. I'm a mother, so you can see the mischief in your own children, you know. And although you want to scold them, you can't, because they're so heartfelt. Their innocence is so beautiful, you know. You're like, oh wow, you know. Yeah. So it's such a beautiful pastime. Thank you very much for sharing it so much. It's so sweet.
It's all Krishna's pastime, Mari. Thank you very much. Yeah. So on that note, no, I was hearing one of the lecture. It says that when the child, when they are very, 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 very young, you know, when they tell lie, even the parents they laugh, because they are innocent. But when they grown up, if they tell lie, they're going to get punished, isn't it? So the child's pastimes are actually relishable. So just imagine this, as a parents, we release so much our child's pastimes, you know, when they are very young, you know, very and teenagers as well. And just imagine the pastime of Krishna, who is transcendental law, right? Now, how much these gopis and the gopas, they would relishing the pastimes of Krishna, isn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Then we will stop here. If anyone has no questions or thoughts. So, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, कार्तिक मास की जय, दादा दामोदर भगवान की जय।
Thank you,
हरे
Prabhu.
कृष्ण। हरे
Hare
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much. Hare
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 Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji.